Before Harvard, Yale, and Princeton would accept me, Hampton, Howard, and Spelman did. And even when the Ivy started to, I remained only one of few. Good evening. I am Tiffany Singleton, and I went to Dillard, an historically Black college and university. See, before the Civil War, higher education for African Americans was non-existent, thought of as an impossible dream. And when we went from Black to African American in 1865, separate but equal kept us shut out and marginalized. Simply put, HBCUs were created after the Civil War to help former slaves like my great-grandparents get an education. And even today, they still provide a unique educational experience, not only for African Americans, but for all those seeking an intimate educational experience. So the question is, are HBCUs relevant today? Well, let's look at the facts. Did you know that African Americans who attend HBCUs graduate at a greater frequency than African Americans who attend any other institution? Did you know that the 103 HBCUs, though they only represent 3% of the nation's colleges and universities, they graduate 25% of African Americans with undergraduate degrees. 50% of African American professionals, HBCU grads. 50% of public school teachers, HBCU grads. 70% of African American dentists are HBCU grads, and a third in the medical field, HBCU grads. And those of us who do attend HBCUs, 50% of us go on to graduate programs and professional schools. One of the greatest strengths of HBCUs are the over 20,000 alum who continue to give wonderful contributions to the world. Everything from Dr. Martin Luther King to Andrew Young, former UN ambassador, to Dr. Bruce Simmons, the current president of Brown University. And even for us, some of our paths to Wall Street and Ivy League, they started at HBCUs. Matter of fact, many of us are sitting in the classroom at HBS with us today. For example, Morehouse gave us Damien. Jonathan, Kareem, and Marcus. Smyrna gave us Ashley, Tori, and Demar. Hampton gave us Tiara. Howard gave us Brandon and Chandra. FAMU gave us Aaron, Marcelia, Toya, and Brooke. And Tennessee State gave us Reggie. Yeah. Must be protected, not just because they're an important part of our history, but an important part of our future. I am Tiffany Singleton, a proud graduate of an HBCU.
My name is Simon Berry, and I live in the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, also known as Back Wall Street. I've lived here all my life. Ever since our family moved here at the turn of the century, we've been here. About 10,000 folks live in Greenwood. You see, unless you go downtown Tulsa to work there, we don't really get out there too much. You see, white folks keep their distance and we keep ours. But it's okay. You see, Greenwood is thriving. We got businesses and doctors and lawyers. Some folks even got their own plane. And as for me, I've done well for myself. I run the local bus service and I own it. And I also run the airplane service. Got a wife, a son, Josiah. Josiah's a little boy, he's growing up. Doesn't know what he wants to do yet, but the other day, he runs up to me and says, "Daddy, I think I want to be a community organizer." Boy, did that make me proud. You see, we need that around here. What makes Greenwood so great is the fact that we help each other and we reinvest in the community. When the average dollar comes to Greenwood, it stays here for about a year before it leaves, allowing us to invest in vibrant businesses and schools, and civic organizations. On the whole, folks are happy and the future is bright. On June 1st, 1921, the unimaginable happened. The Greenwood district was destroyed by riots initiated by white mobs. In less than 24 hours, this town sustained over $1.5 million in property damage and lost hundreds of lives. The seemingly indestructible foundation of the city was shaken to its core. But it was not destroyed, and the spirit of the town endured. It rebuilt once more, becoming a thriving district, and would remain so until the advent of World War II. I am Black Wall Street.
Mine is a true American story. In fact, it's a global one, spanning 3 different continents and encompasses achievement and faith, hope, and above all, my story is about love. My mother raising me alone, focused on fundamentals, embedding in me a true passion for learning and a deep and profound respect for the vast world around us. I probably had to grow up too early, if you ask my honest opinion. When my mother couldn't take care of me, I went to stay with my grandparents. And it was the true, traditional American values that's among the reasons why I love our great nation so much. I hardly knew my father, and he died when I was quite young. And later I sat next to my mother at her deathbed, her body racked with cancer. But I'll never forget how much she emphasized the power and freedom I could get from knowledge. At university, I got to focus on my passion for international relations. It was a time when I deepened my intellect and also started to discover the natural talent I have for leadership. After graduation, I got some exposure to the financial markets while living in New York and working as a financial researcher. But it wasn't until later when I had the good fortune to lead a community-based organization that I found my true calling. Later, I was appointed as a faculty member, which enabled me to teach and do research and also write the best-selling book on race relations. It was about this time I met my wonderful and, if I may say, beautiful wife. We've stood by each other for a lot of different challenges, and recently she agreed to move our family to a new town. You see, a week ago I started a new job. It's going to be tough, but I've assembled a really good team of some strong leaders in which I have a lot of faith, and I also have some great ideas. I am Barack Obama, the 44th President of these United States.